Hello everyone, welcome to our first episode of Keto Living in 2019. I am so excited to resume this series. I've missed doing it and so many of you have asked me about it, so we are back. And today it's finally getting cold where I'm at. It's just been raining and raining and raining. So we're finally getting cold weather, which I love if I have to be cold. I love to eat soups and stews and chowders and things. But being on keto, you know that's not always possible because of the ingredients and stuff that's in there and the flours and stuff. But have no fear, because I have a recipe for you today for a cheesy chicken chowder. And it is so yummy. So I can't wait to get started with showing you. It's not really a hard recipe. There's not too many ingredients in there. So I'm going to put you on pause, put you down here, and we're going to get started. Okay, we're back. So what we're going to be using today for our creamy chicken, cheesy chicken chowder is, of course, chicken. Now, the original recipe for this makes serving 8 servings, and I don't quite want that much. So I have cut the recipe in half, but I promise you I will put the recipe in the entirety in the description box below for you to have, because I really want you to try this recipe. It's really good. Now, one word from my friends who told me I can't eat cheese. So I've done some investigation on this, and you can absolutely make this dish with vegan cheeses. They make vegan cheddar cheese, and cream cheese, and you can get vegan milk. So what we're going to be using is chicken. Now, I've got a large chicken breast, and I just roasted it in the oven. So you want to have your chicken cooked already. And then I steamed a cup of broccoli and a cup of cauliflower. They're raw. They were raw, and I just steamed those. So those are the prep work you want to get a head start on. Then you're going to need a couple tablespoons of butter. You're going to need, for the full recipe, you need 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm using 2. And also for this one, you would need 4 cups. So 2 cups of broccoli and 2 cups of cauliflower. And the chicken, you would need 2 large chicken breasts. So obviously, I just split it in half. Then you're going to need 2 ounces of heavy whipping cream, or 4 ounces if you're making the full recipe. And you're going to need 2 ounces of cheese, or 4 if you're doing the full. And then a half a teaspoon of xantham gum. Now you can skip this. I use this right here, Hodges meal, and it's gluten-free. But I like the texture of the chowder when it's a little thicker, and so I'm going to be including that. You're also going to need either 32 ounces for the full, or half of that, so 16 ounces for the half recipe. I'll get that out. And then your good old S&P. And I do use pink Himalayan salt. It has really good benefits for you, so I use that a lot. Okay, so we're going to get started, and I'm going to bring my pot over here to show you what we're going to mix up first, and then I'll take you over to the stove. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're going to take the chicken. Now, I would be using a larger pot if I was making the full recipe, but since I'm not, this pot is just fine. You're going to take your chicken, and then you're going to take your stock and put that in there. And I am going to measure this out because this box is almost full. So 2 cups of the broth. And I always put it down on an even surface to make sure I'm doing that. Now, what you're going to do with this first is you're just going to put it on the stove, and you're going to put it on low. So I'm going to put this on the stove on low, because basically all you're doing is warming this up. Then, in a smaller pot, we're going to take our butter, And then we're going to add in our heavy whipping cream. And we're going to just need 2 ounces since I'm doing the half recipe. So 2 ounces is about 1/4 cup, so halfway up between. There, put that in there. And then to that, we're going to add our cream cheese. And I have a little knife over here, and I'm just going to cut regular cheese. I'm just going to cut this up in little pieces to help it melt. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is put this on the stove over low to medium heat, and we're going to start melting the cheese down. Once this is melted, then we'll add in our cheddar cheese and let that melt down. So I'm going to come put you on pause and come back over here at the stove. Okay, so we're back over here. I have the small pot here with the cream cheese and the heavy whipping cream. You do not want this to boil. You just want to get a good melt on it. And then I have the chicken and the broth over here heating up. We're just getting that warm, because obviously the chicken's already done, so we don't want to cook this a whole lot. So this is almost melted down. And it looks just like milk, almost, when it melts down. So this is taking the place of a normal roux that you would do with flour and milk to start a cheese sauce with. And when I make my version of macaroni and cheese, which is cauliflower and cheese, this is how I do it. I use a little cream cheese and heavy whipping cream and a little xantham gum, and it makes a wonderful roux for my sauce. Okay, so this is all melted down. Now I'm just going to add the cheese into it. And start getting that melted down. I can't even begin to tell you how my mouth is watering. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to this, because my broth was low sodium. Okay, so our broth is getting nice and warm over here. And our cheese sauce is all melted down. I'm just stirring it a little bit more, and I'm just going to take my finger. Nobody's eating this except for me. And I'm tasting it for seasoning. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pink salt in there. Because you don't want bland soup. Now I'm going to put this all the way down on low. All the way low. Now my broth is heated up nicely over here. So now we're going to add the veggies in. I'm ready to get those nice and warmed as well. So I'm going to let this simmer and come to not a boil, but just a light simmer. And when that happens, I'll be right back. Okay, so our broth and chicken and veggies are nice and warm. And our cheese sauce is melted down to a beautiful sauce. So all we're going to do now is pour this into here. And who would not want that over some kind of veggie or something? Look at that cheese sauce. Now, I forgot to tell you that I only use Philadelphia cream cheese. It's the only cream cheese that I have found that does not add any sugar, and it's less than 1 carb per serving. Now, you can use any cream cheese you want, but you do have to adjust the carbs for it if you do. I'm not responsible if you don't use some Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm telling you, theirs is the best cream cheese. So then we're just going to stir this in. You can see how good that looks. So we're going to stir that in. Turn this burner off before I hurt myself. And then we're going to add our xantham gum, and this is going to thicken it up. Now I'm adding a 1/2 teaspoon, but I can't find my 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon twice. Xantham gum has no taste, and like I said, it's gluten-free, but it's a nice thickening agent. Now we're going to let this cook about 5 minutes, and then I'll dish it up and show you what it looks like. Alright guys, we are through. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. And it thickened up really nice in just about 5 minutes. So here it is, all in a bowl. Now I'm going to give you some little tips and tricks about this before I taste it, because it's rather hot. You saw how easy this came together. Now, if you're in a hurry and you need a quick meal at night, this is it. Let me give you the shortcuts. Instead of roasting 2 large chicken breasts, or 1, if you're doing half, go to the grocery store and buy you a roasted chicken already, a rotisserie chicken. And instead of using fresh cauliflower and broccoli, you can absolutely use frozen. Measure it out, put it in the bowl, put it in the microwave for 3 minutes, and you're done. Ding. And then it just comes together in a matter of minutes. This whole recipe, once you have your chicken and your broccoli and stuff and your cheese. Now, I do grate my own cheese. As you know, I don't use the grated cheese, the pre-shredded cheese, because it has cellulose in it, which is wood fiber. So I choose not to eat that. So, but this is really good, and it's nice and creamy. Oh my gosh. Now, another tip. This is also how I make my broccoli and cheddar cheese soup. All you have to do is add extra broccoli and add a little extra cheddar. And then I fry bacon and crumble bacon on top of it. This would also be lovely with bacon in it, but I didn't do that this time. So let me put you up here and we'll get a little taste. All right. So here's our soup. And it is still steaming hot. But oh my gosh, I cannot wait to bite into this. Let me get a little piece of broccoli, a little cauliflower, a little some chicken, and blow it. Oh man, that is so good. I cannot wait. Now, I did make extra because I will be having this tomorrow for lunch. So, I always cook extra, but I didn't need 8 servings extra. So, I will be having this for lunch as well. So, now another tip. This will keep a couple of days in the refrigerator, but I do not recommend freezing it because of the cheese sauce. It may break when you're trying to reheat it. If you want to make this ahead of time, do all the steps except for the cheese sauce. So, cook your chicken, your broccoli, your cauliflower, and put your broth, warm it all up, and then cool it down and put it in a container and put it in the freezer. On the night you're ready, just take your cheese, make your cheese sauce, and add it in, and 5 minutes later you have dinner. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me today for our first keto living of the year. And I will be back next week. I think next week, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. You'll just have to tune in and see. Alright guys, thank you so much, and I will see you all again. Have a great weekend. God bless. Bye-bye.